So Andrew Cowan for SevereMMA.com, standing alongside MMAfighting.com's Ariel Helwani at the KeyBank Centre here just after wrapping up the UFC 210 workouts. Ariel, how do you think we're looking for Saturday night? Are we in for a big fight?
Well, I think the big news is that Severe finally sent the A-team to an event.
That's it.
No Graham, no Pizzi, no Niall. Whatever happened to that Andrew kid?
God knows.
Yeah.
Fell off the face of the earth, you know?
But now we get Andy. You know it's a big event when Andy's here. The rest of the bums are back home somewhere doing something. Who knows? It's good to be here. I think it's great. First time the UFC is in Buffalo since 1995, UFC 7, so 22 years. And you could feel like when the UFC goes to Vegas, it's exciting, but it kind of feels like another event. You can tell the people are very excited, very appreciative, really looking forward to it. So it makes it different when they're here for the first time or for the first time in a long time. You can definitely sense that buzz, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the first thing we can really notice this week is that DC is really starting to get a pop from the fans.
Yeah.
He seems to get booed everywhere else, right? This week he's really getting behind. What do you think is getting people behind DC?
Well, maybe they're finally smartening up. I think he's the most underappreciated champion in UFC history. And I bang this drum so much, but this is the only guy. I still don't understand how he's not the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And I know the rankings are crazy, but he's undefeated at heavyweight. He's beaten the likes of Barnett, Nelson, Mir, and many others. And then he goes down to 205, and he only has one loss, and it's to the greatest of all time, Jon Jones. How is he not the pound-for-pound king? With all due respect to all the other people who are in that discussion, they've all lost above, in their weight class above. So, and not only that, he's a great family man. He's been through so much in his life. He's a 2-time Olympian. I hope that they start to appreciate him more. I hope this does well on pay-per-view because not only is he a great champion, Rumble's a fantastic challenger. I mean, this is, to me, the best fight of 2017 thus far. Hopefully it comes to fruition, unlike Khabib and Tony Ferguson. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I love the co-main event as well.
Yeah, and the co-main event, obviously Gegard's making a lot of comments that, like you said, I think you said on Twitter yesterday, you had never heard that 2 years ago, a top prospect say, or not a top prospect, a top contender saying he's not happy with his conditions. Do you see Gegard staying if he wins, or what do you see happening?
That is the $64,000 or $1 million question. We can't deny the fact that he has a connection with Scott Coker. He used to fight for Strikeforce, former Strikeforce champion. I think the UFC, if he wins, would be foolish to let him go because that's a win over Weidman. That would be, 5 in a row, I think, off the top of my head. So we'll see. I mean, look, the Bellator middleweight division is very thin. They're doing a rematch this weekend, in fact, in Italy between Melvin Manhoef and Rafael Carvalho, and their first fight was horrendous. And they have to do a rematch because there are just not that many options, and I know it was controversial. So we'll see what happens with Gegard. But if he wins on Saturday, he has all the leverage, no doubt about it.
Do you think it's going to be the money that'll sway him to leave, or the opportunity of fights? Because obviously it's so stacked at the top of middleweight now. There's Yoel Romero.
100% the money. I mean, he's very open about the fact that he wants to get paid. Show me the money. Get me what I'm worth. So I think that even though he wants to fight for the UFC belt, if another organization like a Bellator, whomever else, is going to offer him, a boatload of money, I think he's going to go there.
Is there any other fights you're particularly looking forward to this Saturday night?
Well, I'm intrigued by certain stories. I want to see how Will Brooks looks. He had that tough loss in October, and Oliveira failed to make weight, and he was upset about the reaction afterwards. So I want to see how Brooks looks, and he hurt his rib in the fight. I'm curious how Thiago Alves looks in his return. I think this is an important fight for Patrick Cote as well. Cynthia Calvillo, I thought looked very good in her debut, and a lot of people are excited about her, including her team Alpha Male. And I really like, on the prelims, the Irene Aldana versus Caitlin Chukagian fight. I think that's going to be a really fun styles matchup. I think both of them are great strikers, and I suspect that they will both have better showings than their last fight.
It's been well documented now at the UFC going forward, don't have many fights booked, particularly looking towards July, towards International Fight Week. Do you see the winner of this fight taking on Jon Jones, UFC International Fight Week?
I don't know about International Fight Week. That might be a bit soon. I heard there were some talks of maybe them fighting in Anaheim end of the month, July 29th, I think, off the top of my head, which would be 2/14. But they need a big fight for that International Fight Week show, and Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw are going to be on it, but is that big enough to headline? I don't know. They wanted GSP Bisping. I don't think that's going to happen, at least not right now. So Jones returning against the winner of this fight would certainly warrant, a big deal, big show. But I don't know. I'm not hearing it, but let's see. I mean, look, Rumble DC wins in 10 seconds. They're healthy. They can go. Jones's suspension will be up, come July 8th. My birthday, by the way.
Oh, very good.
So it's a very exciting time. And we'll be hearing from Jon Jones tomorrow, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Again, they bring out the top dog because the man is here. PT comes, they don't bring anyone. Graham comes, they don't bring anyone. The Undertaker comes, they don't bring anyone, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, you're retired during the week, so
right.
no talking brawls today. Like Niall is retired, so
because of the Undertaker,
yeah,
he's so distraught.
Like he's sympathised with him, so
right,
he's going
right.
to retire. Last thing as well, you were speaking, we're going to see Jon Jones tomorrow. What are you expecting from Jon? Do you think he's going to?
Man, I'm so curious to see what he's like because he's from nearby Endicott, New York. He's always talked about wanting to fight here. This was the biggest arena, like closest to his hometown, more so than Madison Square Garden. Could you believe that?
Crazy.
And he can't fight here because he's suspended. And of all people, his biggest rival is headlining the show with the belt that he used to have. I mean, that's just crazy.
And getting a good pop off.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just. I mean, how could this not bother him to a degree? So I'm really curious to see what he's like, how he looks. We haven't talked to him since that press conference when he was crying when we found out that he was, pulled from 200. So to me, this is going to be fascinating theater. Just to sort of read him, see what he looks like, the mental state that he's in. I think he's going to be in good spirits because he could see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, we're 3 months out.
Yeah.
So the worst has already passed. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I think it's at around 6 or 7 tomorrow Eastern time. I'm really excited about that.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Ariel.
Thank you. SevereMMA.com. Cool.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.